Bendiciones, bienvenidos. Muchas gracias por estar aquí, sanando juntos con las enseñanzas del Maestro Jesús en un curso de milagros. Today we are going to read chapter 2. Bendiciones. Chapter 2 today seems to be Monday, the 2nd of March, 2026. Thank you and welcome. Here we are with Saint Adriana also. Hello, Saint Adriana. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
So we can start with the invocation. Vamos a empezar con la invocación. You can sing with me. ¿Cantamos juntas?
Sí, en español. Esa no me la sé en inglés.
This connection is supposed to be purely in English.
Ah, ok. Déjame ver, ¿dónde está la... where is the page of the
The
invocation?
version that I have is in page 28.
28. No, this is a different...
Chapter 2, section 5, subsection A. It's just before section 6. Just before. If
Okay,
you search,
isn't the function of the miracle worker?
yeah, but if you go to section 6, you will find it because it's just before.
6.
Over there?
No.
No? I am here only to be truly helpful.
No.
Have you found section 6, fear and conflict?
I have the function of the miracle worker, but in the paragraph.
Go to the next section, section 6, fear and conflict. Go far away.
Ah, okay, fear and conflict. Number.
No, you have it there before, just before. There's the invitation.
Yeah, I found it. Okay.
So
I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent him who sent me. I don't have to worry about what to say or what to do, because he who sent me will direct me. I am content to be whatever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal.
I'm going to sing it now, okay?
Okay.
I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because he who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. Amen. Thank you. So let's start. We can read it each one paragraph. Yeah?
Okay. Chapter 2, right? Chapter 2, the separation and the atonement. First, the origins of separation. 1. To extend is a fundamental aspect of God which he gave to his Son. In the creation, God extended himself to his creation and imbued them with the same loving will to create. You have not only been fully created, but have also been created perfect. There is no emptiness in you. Because of your likeness to your Creator, you are creative. No child of God can lose this ability because it is inherent in what he is, but he can use it inappropriately by projecting. The inappropriate use of extension or projection occurs when you believe that some emptiness or lack exists in you and that you can fill in with your own ideas instead of truth. This process involves the following steps. First, you believe that God created can be changed by your own mind. Second, you believe what is perfect can be rendered imperfect or lacking. Third, you believe that you can distort the creation of God, including yourself. Fourth, you believe that you can create yourself and that the direction of your own creation is up to you.
Thank you. Paragraph 2. These related distortions represent a picture of what actually occurred in the separation, or the detour into fear. None of this existed before the separation, nor does it actually exist now. Everything God created is like Him. Extension, as undertaken by God, is similar to the inner radiance that the children of the Father inherit from Him. Its real source is internal. This is as true of the Son as of the Father. In this sense, the creation includes both the creation of the Son by God and the Son's creations when his mind is healed. This requires God's endowment of the Son with free will, because all loving creation is freely given in one continuous line in which all aspects are of the same order.
3. The Garden of Eden, or the pre-separation condition, was a state of mind in which nothing was needed. When Adam listened to the lies of the serpent, all he heard was untruth. You do not have to continue to believe what is not true unless you choose to do so. All that can literally disappear in the twinkling of an eye because it is merely a misperception. What is seen in dreams seems to be very real. Yet the Bible says that a deep sleep fell up upon Adam, and nowhere is there reference to his waking up. The world has not yet experienced any comprehensive reawakening or rebirth. Such a rebirth is impossible as long as you continue to project or miscreate. It is still remains with you, however, to extend as God extended his spirit to you. In reality, this is your only choice because your free will was given you for your joy and creating the perfect.
Thank you. 4. All fear is ultimately reducible to the basic misperception that you have the ability to usurp the power of God. Of course, you neither can nor have been able to do this. Here is the real basis for your escape from fear. The escape is brought about by your acceptance of the atonement, which enables you to realize that your errors never really occurred. Only after the deep sleep fell upon Adam could he experience nightmares. If a light is suddenly turned on while someone is dreaming a fearful dream, he may initially interpret the light itself as part of his dream and be afraid of it. However, when he awakens, the light is correctly perceived as the release from the dream, which is then no longer accorded reality. This release thus this release does not depend on illusions. The knowledge that illuminates not only sets you free, but also shows you clearly that you are free. Thank you.
Thank you. 5. Whatever lies you may believe are of no concern to the miracle, which can heal any of them with equal ease. It makes no distinction among misperceptions. Its sole concern is to distinguish between truth on the one hand and error on the other. Some miracles may seem to be of greater magnitude than others, but remember the first principle in this course. There is no order of difficulty in miracles. In reality, you are perfectly unaffected by all expressions of lack of love. This can be from yourself and others, from yourself to others, or from others to you. Peace is an attribute in you. You cannot find it outside. Illness is some form of external searching. Health is inner peace. It enables you to remain unshaken by lack of love from without and capable through your acceptance of miracles, of correcting the conditions proceeding from lack of love in others.
Thank you. Section 2. The atonement as defense. Paragraph 1. You can do anything I ask. I have asked you to perform miracles and have made it clear that miracles are natural, corrective, healing, and universal. There is nothing they cannot do, but they cannot be performed in the spirit of doubt or fear. When you are afraid of anything, you are acknowledging its power to hurt you. Remember that where your heart is, there is your treasure also. You believe in what you value. If you are afraid, you are valuing wrongly. Your understanding will then inevitably value wrongly. And by endowing all thoughts with equal power, will inevitably destroy peace. That is why the Bible speaks of the peace of God, with which passeth understanding. This peace is totally incapable of being shaken by errors of any kind. It denies the ability of anything not of God to affect you. This is the proper use of denial. It is not used to hide anything, but to correct error. It brings all errors into the light, and since error and darkness are the same, it corrects errors automatically. Thank you.
Thank you. 2. True denial is a powerful protective device. You can and should deny any belief that error can hurt you. This kind of denial is not a concealment but a correction. Your right mind depends on it. Denial of error is a strong defense of truth, but denial of truth results in miscreation. The projections of the ego in the service of the right mind, the denial of error frees the mind and reestablishes the freedom of the will. When the will is really free, it cannot miscreate because it recognizes only truth.
Thank you. 3. You can defend truth as well as error. The means are easier to understand after the value of the goal is firmly established. It is a question of what it is for. Everyone defends his treasure and will do so automatically. The real questions are, what do you treasure and how much do you treasure it? Once you have learned to consider these questions and to bring them into all your actions, you will have little difficulty in clarifying the means. The means are available whenever you ask. You can, however, save time if you do not protract this step unduly. The correct focus will shorten it immeasurably. Thank you.
Number 4. The atonement is the only defense that cannot be used destructively because it is not a device you made. The atonement principle was in effect long before the atonement began. The principle was love, and the atonement was an act of love. Acts were not necessary before the separation because in belief in space and time did not exist. It was only after the separation that the atonement and the conditions necessary for its fulfillment were planned. Then a defense so splendid was needed that it could not be misused, although it could be refused. Refusal however, turn into a weapon of attack, which is the inherent characteristic of the other defenses. The atonement thus because the only defense that is not a two-edged sword. It can only heal.
Thank you. 5. The atonement was built into the space-time belief to set a limit on the need for the belief itself and ultimately to make learning complete. The atonement is the final lesson. Learning itself, like the classroom in which it occurs, is temporary. The ability to learn has no value when change is no longer necessary. The eternally creative have nothing to learn. You can learn to improve your perceptions and can become a better and better learner. This will bring you into closer and closer accord with the sonship. But the sonship itself is a perfect creation, And perfection is not a matter of degree. Only while there is a belief in differences is learning meaningful. Thank you.
Number 6.
6.
Evolution is a process in which you seem to proceed from one degree to the next. You correct your previous missteps by stepping forward. This process is actually incomprehensible in temporal terms because you return as you go forward. The atonement is the device by which you can free yourself from the past as you go ahead. It undoes your past errors, thus making it unnecessary for you to keep retracing your steps without advancing to your return. In this sense, the atonement saves time, but like the miracle it serves, does not abolish it. As long as there is need for atonement, there is need for time. But the atonement as a complete plan has unique relationship to time. Until the atonement is complete, its various phases will proceed in time, but the whole atonement stands at time's end. At that point, the bridge of return has been built.
Thank you. 7. The atonement is a total commitment. You may still think this is associated with loss, a mistake all the separated sons of God make in one way or another. It is hard to believe a defense that cannot attack is the best defense. This is what is meant by the meek shall inherit the earth. They will literally take it over because of their strength. A two-way defense is inherently weak precisely because it has two edges and can be turned against you very unexpectedly. This possibility cannot be controlled except by miracles. The miracle turns the defense of atonement to your real protection. And as you become more and more secure, you assume your natural talent of protecting others, knowing yourself as both as brother and a son. Thank you.
Thank you. 3. The altar of God. 1. The atonement can only be accepted within by releasing the
The atonement can only be accepted with you by releasing the inner light.
I'm gonna read again. Number 1. The atonement can only be accepted within you by releasing the inner light. Since the separation, defense have been used almost entirely to defend against the atonement, and thus maintain the separation. This is generally seen as a need to protect the body. The many body fantasies in which minds engage arise from the distorted belief that the body can be used as a means for attaining atonement. Perceiving the body as a temple is only the first step in correcting this distortion, because it alters only part of it. it does recognize that atonement in physical terms is impossible. The next step, however, is to realize that a temple is not a structure at all. Its true holiness lies on the inner altar around which the structure is built. The emphasis on beautiful structures is a sign of the fear of atonement and an unwillingness to reach the altar itself. The real beauty of the temple cannot be seen with the physical eye. The spiritual side, on the other hand, cannot see the structure at all because it is perfect vision. It can, however, see the altar with perfect clarity.
Thank you. Paragraph 2. For perfect effectiveness, the atonement belongs at the center of the inner altar, where it undoes the separation and restores the wholeness of the mind. Before the separation, the mind was invulnerable to fear, because fear did not exist. Both separation and the fear are miscreations that must be undone for the restoration of the temple and for the opening of the altar to receive the atonement. This heals the separation by placing within you the one effective defense against all separation thoughts and making you perfectly invulnerable. Thank you.
Thank you. 3. The acceptance of the atonement by everyone is only a matter of time. This may appear to contradict free will because of the inevitability of the final decision, but this is not so. You can temporize and you are capable of enormous procrastination, but you cannot depart entirely from your Creator, who set the limits on your ability to miscreate. An impression will engenders a situation which, in the extreme, becomes altogether intolerable. Tolerance from pain may be high, but is not without limit. Eventually, everyone begins to recognize, however dimly, that there must be a better way. As this recognition becomes more firmly established, it becomes a turning point. This ultimately awakens spiritual vision, simultaneously awakening the investment in physical sight. The alternating investment in the two levels of perception is usually experienced as conflict, which can become very acute. But the outcome is as certain as God.
Thank you. 4. Spiritual vision literally cannot see error and merely looks for atonement. All solutions the physical eye seeks to dissolve, all solutions the physical eye seeks to dissolve. Spiritual vision looks within and recognizes immediately that the altar has been defiled and needs to be repaired and protected. Perfectly aware of the right defense, it passes over all others, looking past error to truth. Because of the strength of its vision, it brings the mind into its service. This reestablishes the power of the mind and makes it increasingly unable to tolerate delay, realizing that it only adds unnecessary pain. As a result, the regarded as very minor intrusions of as a result, the mind becomes increasingly sensitive to what it would once have regarded as very minor intrusions of discomfort.
Number 5. The children of God are entitled to the perfect comfort that comes from perfect trust. Until they achieve this, they waste themselves and their true creative powers on useless attempts to make themselves more comfortable by inappropriate means. But the real means are already provided and not involve any effort at all of their part. The atonement is the only gift that is worthy of being offered at the altar of God because of the value of the altar itself. It was created perfect and is entirely worthy of receiving perfection. God and His creation are completely dependent on each other. He depends on them because He created them perfect. He gave them His peace so they could not be shaken and could not be deceived. Whenever you are afraid, you are deceived, and your mind cannot serve the Holy Spirit. This starves you by denying you your daily bread. God is lonely without his sons, and they are lonely without him. They must learn to look upon the world as a means of healing the separation. The atonement is the guarantee that they will ultimately succeed. Thank you, Mike. I can read just at that point. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you too.
Blessings, everybody.
Blessings. We love each other. Bye. So, section 4, healing as a release from fear. 1. Our emphasis is now on healing. The miracle is the means, the atonement is the principle, and healing is the result. To speak of a miracle of healing is to combine two orders of reality inappropriately. Healing is not a miracle. The atonement, or the final miracle, is a remedy, and any type of healing is a result. The kind of error to which atonement is applied is irrelevant. All healing is essentially the release from fear. To undertake this, you cannot be fearful yourself. You do not understand healing because of your own fear. 2. A major step in the atonement plan is to undo errors at all levels. Sickness, or not right-mindedness, is the result of level confusion because it always entails the belief that what is amiss on one level can adversely affect another. We have referred to miracles as the means of correcting level confusion, for all mistakes must be corrected at the level on which they occur. Only the mind is capable of error. The body can act wrongly only when it is responding to misthought. The body cannot create, and the belief that it can, a fundamental error, produces all physical symptoms. Physical illness represents a belief in magic. The whole distortion that made magic rests on the belief that there is a creative ability matter which the mind cannot control. The whole distortion that made magic rests on the belief that there is a creative ability matter which the mind cannot control. This error can take two forms. It can be believed that the mind can miscreate in the body, or that the body can miscreate in the mind. When it is understood that the mind, the only level of creation, cannot create beyond itself, neither type of confusion need occur. 3. Only the mind can create because spirit has already been created, and the body is a learning device for the mind. Learning devices are not lessons in themselves. Their purpose is merely to facilitate learning. The worst a faulty use of a learning device can do is to fail to facilitate learning. It has no power in itself to introduce actual learning errors. The body, if properly understood, shares the invulnerability of the atonement to two-edged application. This is not because the body is a miracle, but because it is not inherently open to misinterpretation. The body is merely part of your experience in the physical world. Its abilities can be and frequently are overevaluated. However, it is almost impossible to deny its experience in this world, its existence in this world. However, it is almost impossible to deny its existence in this world. Those who do so are engaging in a particular unworthy form of denial. The term unworthy here implies only that it is not necessary to protect the mind by denying the unmindful. If one denies this unfortunate aspect of the mind's power, one is also denying the power itself. 4. All materials means that you accept as remedies for bodily ill are restatements of magic principles. This is the first step in believing that the body makes its own illness. It is a second misstep to attempt to heal it through non-creative agents. It is a second misstep to attempt to heal it through non-creative agents. It does not follow, however, that the use of such agents for corrective purpose is evil. Sometimes the illness has a sufficiently strong hold over the mind to render a person temporarily inaccessible to the atonement. In this case, it may be wise to utilize a compromise approach to mind and body, in which something from the outside is temporarily given healing relief. This is because the last thing that can help the non-right-minded or the sick is an increase in fear. They are already in a fear-weakness state. If they are prematurely exposed to a miracle, they may be precipitated into panic. This is likely to occur when upside-down perception has induced the belief that miracles are frightening. 5. The value of the atonement does not lie in the manner in which it is expressed. In fact, it is used truly it sorry, in fact, if it is used truly, it will inevitably be expressed in whatever way it's more helpful to the receiver. This means that a miracle, to attain its full efficacy, must be expressed in a language that the recipient can understand without fear. This does not necessarily mean that this is the highest level of communication of which he is capable. It does mean, however, this that it is the highest level of communication of which he is capable now. The whole aim of the miracle is to raise the level of communication, not to lower it by increasing fear. Thank you. We are going to finish the reading here for the moment. We will continue with paragraph 5 until the end with the last section, the meaning of the last judgment. So we have 3 sections left. Thank you. We love you. We love each other. Blessings for everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Gracias. Gracias a todos. Bendiciones. We love each other. Nos amamos. Thank you very much indeed. Gracias de todo corazón.